For 40 years, the U.S. government-operated public health service conducted what was known as the Tuskegee Syphilis Study, one of the darkest chapters in American history. Now, over 40 years after the study ended, we still don't know, and might never know, the full extent of its effects.
Why I won't take the COVID vaccine? See, I don't make decisions hastily. I make decisions based on logic. I do not trust our government. Point blank, period. Why I won't take the COVID vaccine? Tuskegee Syphilis Study, 1972, exposes a community of 600 black male sharecroppers to syphilis under the false pretense of vaccination. Instead, they were maliciously injected with syphilis. At least 100 received placebo treatment only, while the whites administering the treatment callously stood by, allowing syphilis to spread in our community while salivating at the prospect of curing a European disease with black corpse.
What the United States government did was shameful, and I am sorry.
Clinton apology for a 40-year government financed genocide on blacks while holding not a single person nor any organization culpable. In spite the fact these Holocaust practices resulted in hundreds of deaths, ended just 20 years prior, rings hollow without retribution and compensation.
We have no idea how many wives, girlfriends, children inherited the disease and also died or were forever crippled by its effects.
If they had been white, your public health service would never have agreed to do this study in the first place. They wouldn't have dared.
Add in existing medical disparities, inequalities between blacks and whites, such as pregnancy mortality rates in the U.S. White women die due to pregnancy 12.7 versus black women 43 per 100,000. That's 3 times higher. Black women die from pregnancy 3 times higher than white women in the U.S. Our infant mortality rate in the U.S. White infants die 4.6 versus blacks at 10.8 per 100,000. That's black infants dying at twice the rate of any other race in America. I don't know about anyone else, but I see a pattern. Pfizer to pay $2.3 billion for fraudulent marketing. The company will pay a criminal fine of $1.195 billion, the largest criminal fine ever imposed in the United States for any matter. In addition, Pfizer has agreed to pay $1 billion to resolve allegations under the Civil False Claims Act that the company illegally promoted 4 drugs. Pfizer had another lawsuit in 2008. Now the breakdown is like this: $745 million to personal injury cases. The settlement was $894 million. $80 million will cover consumer fraud, $60 million to 33 states, including the District of Columbia. The Public Readiness Emergency Preparedness Act, the Secretary to issue a declaration to provide liability immunity to certain individuals and entities against any claims of losses caused by arising out of, relating to, or resulting from the manufacturing, distribution, administration, or use of medical countermeasures. So the company that paid the biggest criminal fines in American history is the leading vaccine producer. The Public Readiness and Emergency Preparation Act gave those same companies immunity in case their vaccine has a side effect that harms you. Cannot be sued. You have no liability. What I'm saying is, for billions of dollars, COVID vaccine, basic government-funded science laid the groundwork. Much of the pioneering work on mRNA vaccine was done with government money through drug makers, though drug makers could walk away with big profits. The government gave drug manufacturers at least $10 billion to produce and manufacture this drug. They are in no position to require us to trust them. Therefore, they need to put billions of dollars into a black university, Howard, or that's a medical school. They have a medical school to finance a vaccine for us to develop, produce, and distribute and manufacture so that we could be held accountable for us. We will be foolish to line up in long lines and allow them to put needles in our arms of products that they done shipped specifically to our communities.
And as many as 100 men died from complications related to untreated syphilis. And the message was very clear. Black deaths mattered.
Medical doctors deliberately let them die, wanted them to die.